It started as a headache and turned into chest pain. Things that normally required little effort left him short of breath. Soon after, the 23-year-old started to notice an unusual weakness in his left side. He lost grip strength and struggled to do simple things for his dog. I was dropping dishes while trying to wash them, he said. The vision in my left eye was spotty. By Saturday, he was admitted to hospital in Tempe, Arizona. There, things became clearer. Behrens had suffered a mini-stroke, a transient ischemic attack, TIA, as a result of his COVID-19 infection. I actually made the doctor repeat it, Behrens said, eyes still wide in disbelief. He walked me through it again. I thought, no, not me. I'm 23. I'm an athlete. How can I be sitting in a hospital bed? The novel coronavirus typically attacks the lungs, but there is growing evidence about its effects on another organ, the brain. Peterborough Mayor strongly encourages red zone residents to stay away. Small businesses feel unfairly targeted in COVID-19 lockdowns. Stolen parcel. Here's what you need to know to outsmart porch pirate. Search for missing Trent University student on Sunday. Drive-by parade offers support for Fairhaven long-term care. Peterborough moves to yellow zone on Monday. Peterborough City Council explores improvements to the city. Havelock, Norwood and Cobourg long-term care projects receive provincial funding. Boost coronavirus. Ontario Premier Ford announces $1 billion COVID-19 resilience stream program for infrastructure funding. Flu shot shortage in Peterborough explained. 6 arrested after GTA investigation into illegal street racing, stunt driving. Coronavirus. Ontario opens application for PPE grant, rebate program for small businesses. Coronavirus. Minister explains Ontario's new omnibus bill to assist municipalities with economic recovery. B.C. Man sentenced for selling fentanyl-laced cocaine which killed 4 in Saskatoon in March 2018. Pfizer says coronavirus vaccine is 95% effective. Ontario expecting COVID-19 vaccines in early 2021. Coronavirus. Real estate market in Ontario's cottage country experiencing boom. Coronavirus. Minister says contracts in place for syringes, gauze for distribution. Coronavirus. Trudeau, reasonably confident. Opposition parties don't want confidence vote on fiscal update. Ottawa releases much anticipated fall economic statement. Coronavirus. Anand argues commercial, proprietary information at risk with full COVID-19 contracts. Disclosure. Mysterious monolith in Utah desert disappears. Alberta deficit deepens to record $24.20 billion. Coronavirus. Opposition leader O'Toole criticizes economic recovery plan, says there is no plan. Coronavirus. Ford demands information on vaccine delivery from feds, pharmaceutical companies. Coronavirus. Trudeau outlines COVID-19 vaccine distribution efforts, names Marge, Jen, Danny Fortin to lead vaccine logistics. Operation Trudeau's approval ratings hold steady amid COVID-19 pandemic. Ipsos poll shows coronavirus, NDP to continue pushing for permanent changes for supports amid pandemic. Ottawa to deliver long-awaited economic update amid pandemic. O'Toole says, there is no plan for the economy if Canada doesn't have rapid COVID-19 testing. Vaccines. Family birthday becomes superspreader event. Planning the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. The type of stroke Behrens suffered, a TIA, doesn't usually cause permanent damage, but there is increasing concern about how the virus can impact neurological function in the long run. My worry is that we have millions of people with COVID-19 now. And if in a year's time we have 10 million recovered people, and those people have cognitive deficits, then that's going to affect their ability to work and their ability to go about activities of daily living. Adrian Owen, a neuroscientist at Western University in Ontario, told Reuters in a previous interview. There are people on there saying, oh yeah, I had one 3 months ago at 24, or, I had one 5 months ago at 32, or, my 19-year-old daughter had one last week. Behrens said, I'm not a doctor or anything, but that Twitter thread shows a lot of young people. Young people have been a focal point of the pandemic. They're less likely to become seriously ill and far less likely to die, but they are not exempt from either outcome. Over the summer, the vast majority of new infections in both Canada and the US were young adults, many of whom contracted the virus by going to bars, restaurants, attending indoor parties and, in some cases, disregarding public health recommendations. Behrens said he's been super careful, buying groceries online and limiting his outings, but he believes his peers aren't being as diligent. It's why he tweeted about his experience while hooked up to tubes and wires. It was mainly for his inner circle, to say, I'm close to you. This happened to me. Earlier today, I was diagnosed as having suffered a transient ischemic attack, TIA, or what's commonly known as a mini-stroke. I'm 23 years old and I just had a stroke due to COVID-19 complications. Not taking this pandemic seriously? Keep reading. His story resonated far beyond his own friends. The Twitter thread has since gone viral, amassing thousands of likes and retweets. I want people to know this is real, he said. Had you asked me a week ago if I would be this sick, I probably would have laughed in your face. At 23, I never thought I'd be sitting in a hospital bed barely able to move my left side or have trouble with my sight. Behrens believes his story should serve as a wake-up call. Even a young, healthy person who did all the right things can still find themselves sick. He believes he was exposed by a friend he let crash at his apartment after the friend lost his housing. He had even asked the friend about his recent close contact history. This is not some sort of hoax or a joke. It's not that, the media is making it worse. If you don't think this is real, you need to open your eyes, he said. I had no idea I'd go from being able to play a whole rugby game to getting tired walking down the hall of my apartment. Coronavirus. Real estate market in Ontario's cottage country experiencing boom. Coronavirus. Minister says contracts in place for syringes, gauze for distribution. Coronavirus. Trudeau, reasonably confident. Opposition parties don't want confidence vote on fiscal update. Ottawa releases much anticipated fall economic statement. Coronavirus. Anand argues commercial, proprietary information at risk with full COVID-19 contracts. Disclosure. Mysterious monolith in Utah desert disappears. Alberta deficit deepens to record $24.20 billion. Coronavirus. Opposition leader O'Toole criticizes economic recovery plan, says there is no plan. Coronavirus. Ford demands information on vaccine delivery from feds, pharmaceutical companies. Coronavirus. Trudeau outlines COVID-19 vaccine distribution efforts, names Marge, Jen, Danny Fortin to lead vaccine logistics. Operation Trudeau's approval ratings hold steady amid COVID-19 pandemic. Ipsos poll shows coronavirus, NDP to continue pushing for permanent changes for supports amid pandemic. Ottawa to deliver long-awaited economic update amid pandemic. O'Toole says, there is no plan for the economy if Canada doesn't have rapid COVID-19 testing. Vaccines. Family birthday becomes super spreader event planning the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Behrens knows he's only a short way through his road to recovery. Even while sitting in front of his computer via Zoom, he described feeling dizzy, like I'm on a boat where it's rocking back and forth. It is unknown whether he'll fully recover. Research on the link between COVID-19 and the brain is not yet definitive. In the short term, Behrens will need to add physical therapy and neurological rehab to his already busy agenda, while being a student and aspiring politician. Overcoming the surreal feeling of being a 23-year-old stroke survivor will be a hurdle all its own. Saying the words, I had a stroke, at my age. It's still surreal, he said. That's the point, take this seriously. It could affect you more than you think.